Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Tamar Charmaine.
And I'm William.
I know we are like 2 weeks late on putting up a review, but we wanted to get all the couples married together. Have their marriages.
Yeah, we wanted to go through all the weddings.
We're actually gonna post up a vlog. We went to Jamaica. It was my birthday. We met Amani and Woody from the New Orleans season.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry, baby, you're here.
Oh, I didn't even do a.
Just go look.
we just went. Hopefully, I don't look too crazy. I'm tired. Yeah, I'm tired. So my hair looks crazy. Okay, so we are in Houston this season. Okay, so let's talk about the first two couples that were married. Johnny and Bao.
Yeah. And before we get into that, if you guys want to know how the trip went with,
I said I was gonna post a vlog. So
I know, but I'm talking about like a separate YouTube video.
I'm gonna post a vlog.
All right. Anyway, let's go.
Okay.
All right, let's go.
So we have Johnny and Bao. They were the first. First of all, that first episode, we were in North Carolina too, the premiere night. So that's why we've had a lot going on. And I started a new job where I'm working like crazy hours. So we had a lot going on. But anyway. That first night was OD. Like it was like 3 hours. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Are they trying to do some 90 Day Fiance? They need to stop because even 90 Day Fiance for us has like kind of fell off.
We just wanted to get straight to the point, get to the juice.
Exactly, just like you guys want to get straight to the point, get to the juice of our review.
Yep.
Okay.
So let's start.
Yes. So let's talk about Johnny and Bao. I like Johnny, and at first I didn't like Bao.
Yeah, we didn't like her at first. I think together we both didn't like her.
Yeah, just you know how some people have like a punchable face. There's something about her was just like Karen-y or like something.
I think what I didn't like was she didn't appreciate her gift, and she automatically assumed like he was like some sports guy.
But I already knew that was her personality from before, like the episode before. I already knew that about, so I already had that feeling about her.
And I have nothing against white people, but in like when she was doing the picking, she was like oh, it has to be white or Asian. So I'm like how's she just gonna pick? I mean, they do give people their choices, but it was like,
but like if she was open to different people, why does it specifically have to be white? And when you're talking about like this season is the most diverse season because usually they just have black and white couples. This season they have
Spanish.
They have Mexican couple. They have another Hispanic couple, and they have a black Hispanic man that's something other than Dominican. They have a black Colombian, and I don't know what Mirla is. And they have a black couple, and they have a white couple. And I get, because of Asian hate, all the Asian hate stuff that they have Johnny and Bao, and I think that's
it's actually a great thing.
Yeah, it's a great addition to see more diversity on the show. And this is the first time Married at First Sight had only one white couple as well.
Yeah.
So it's great to see that diversity. But one of the reasons why a lot of people, especially black people, had an issue with when talking about Asians and there became a black versus white thing when it came to like Asian hate is because of hyper assimilation and the proximity to whiteness and like not really caring for black people but wanting that same respect but I also think it's how you were raised, because I grew up in a very culturally diverse neighborhood. I'm first generation American, and I grew up around a lot of Asians and Caribbean people, and all the Asians I know are culturally black, so it also depends on how she grew up and how her family chose to assimilate.
Yeah, but I just ain't like the way she said it, because it came off to me as if
like you could have said, I don't care who I marry.
Yeah, but like in a nice way,
But it was like that wanting to be accepted by white people that I didn't like, and then at the end, like towards the marriage, she was like, nah, I really want to be married to someone from my culture, and thankfully they did put her together with Johnny, and I love them together. I love that they met in college. And I think Johnny made me like her.
Yeah, Johnny, like I think if it wasn't Johnny, I felt like she's the type that was gonna hate anybody that they had put in front of her. You know, because she just came off that way to me.
So what I think was really dope and really cool is she was just really, what I didn't like, and honestly watching the show sometimes for season after season, I see why a lot of these people are single and had to go on the show. So she automatically wrote him off because he was into sports. So just because somebody's into sports, they have to be not a meathead.
And I can see like
and that turned her off.
But, and I can see like my thing is like I wouldn't automatically just send someone like, you know, a jersey as a gift, you know.
But I think what I did now I remember what I didn't like about that. She was mad that Johnny actually had a thoughtful gift. He just wrapped it in a jersey, and she was so hung up on that. But her gifts were doo-doo crap. Like she gave like
remember what she was saying? Yeah,
she's like, oh, I just wolfed down a burger. Like you are. That's worse. That's a big turn off. And like I said, I see why she's single. Or she was single. But yeah, and in tonight's episode, I like the fact, and I think what also made her guard go down is she always had a crush on Johnny, but she never said anything. So
he was like the pretty boy. Back then, so
he has swag. You can tell Johnny has swag. Okay, and we're back, and I was looking a hot mess anyway, so I'm glad, even though I look.
Well, now I look like a hot mess. Well, I felt like I was looking okay back then.
Okay, so let's get to the next marriage.
Okay, again.
Okay, let's see if we can remember. Okay, so Michaela and Zach. Okay, so with Michaela and Zach, I love them. I really, 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 really love them.
I think we both really
do. I was crying. They were crying. I've watched this show for years now. And I never saw where both the bride and the groom were crying. I really love that. And I like the fact that they both have never been in love. I think one of the mistakes that they have done in the past is they put, like, for example, with Clara and Ryan, who are getting a divorce, by the way. They put Ryan, who's never been in love, with Clara, who is in love every 5 seconds. And so what happens is with those couples, you'll have one person that's all in, saying I love you, wanting to have sex, and then the other person who holds themselves back a little bit more. And I felt like these two were on the same page, and they're very passionate. And even her sisters were looking at them and saying the same thing. Yeah,
and to me, as I was watching them, I said to myself, "Ooh, Amani and Woody have some trouble."
Oh, as favorites. Yeah. We did see in the preview that for next week that they're not next week, but as the season goes on,
and before that, before you get to that, I wanted to So basically, when we were first watching Michaela, right?
Yeah.
We were
oh yes.
We were in North Carolina. We were watching it on a small little iPad. And the thing is, to me, my first impression.
We didn't think her look was gonna be.
I didn't think it was like so attractive.
Yeah.
And then we're sitting there eating, we're like, wait a minute, what?
She got prettier I think maybe, not everybody can wear the same, and not everyone can have every kind of hairstyle. Certain, I think, and I normally when my hair's not blonde, it's natural and stuff like that. But I think short hair maybe doesn't suit her because she has a wider chin. So that I felt like when her hair was shorter, it just didn't look right on her. And I think that's what it was.
In certain camera angles, because I saw some angles where I thought it did look great on her. But I think once I saw her natural prettiness, all the other thoughts went out the window. It didn't matter anymore.
At first we were like, oh, this might be trouble. It might be like a Chris situation where he's just, certain guys you can look at and you probably their types, or you know what they would probably go for. But honestly, as it progressed, you really got to see the beauty of Michaela.
Yeah, and I think he comes off as nerdy, right?
And she really wanted somebody nerdy because her father, who passed away, was a nerd, and he's nerdy. So I think they both got what they asked for.
Yep.
So
I agree.
Next couple.
Yeah, let's go. To the next couple.
So let's go to Mirla and Gil. So let me tell you the tea before we,
Okay.
The tea. Okay. So we know from a very reliable source that basically there was a bride who last minute backed out of who had a wedding date and everything, who backed out last minute this season. Now, when they were showing, like when the experts went to their houses, I'm like, I don't think Mila's gonna be picked, because I personally felt like she wasn't ready for the show. From just watching past seasons, I felt like she was not mentally prepared to be on this experiment. And when she was picked, I was like, that's crazy. Yeah. And then, but then I believe that Mirla was the last minute bride, just like Christina was the last minute person, or when someone backed out of a wedding.
Yeah. And so, I'm not really sure, like whether, like how they operate there, but I do feel like they have a backup for every
they have a backup for every person, and I don't know. So
but it seemed like she's so the perfect
reliable
backup.
Yeah, well, the reliable source I know, we know someone who it was their friend basically, and so we know that the person, but we don't know the person exactly who backed out. And Mirla, when her and Gil at their wedding were talking about how they got, why were they interested in the show, Mirla said one of her bridesmaids, the producers asked one of her bridesmaids, and she felt like she didn't want to do it, and she suggested Mirla to do it. So I don't know if and also the reliable source that we have also told us that this season was going to be crazy. So now if it was her bridesmaid, it may not have been her bridesmaid, it may have been somebody else. Was the person who backed out, that person would know if there was drama or not.
I agree.
And the reason why I don't think Mirla is ready for this show is because you can't teach your old dog new tricks, and she's very stuck in her ways, and she's not open to the process.
Yeah.
Even Bao, who I could not stand at first, was open to the process at the bachelorette party. Now, granted, Mirla's life is more urban or hip hop, and they had her in a bar with country music and bulls, and she was thrown off by that. But you still can enjoy yourself, even if it's not your style.
I agree. And to me, from what I seen during those scenes, her just sitting there, and I felt like she thought she was better than everyone else. She was too bougie, too cute to get her. To get messed up.
Okay, so here's the thing
with
Mirla. She's not bougie so there's two kinds of bougie, I always say. There's a bougie of someone who's like bougie for real. And then there's a bougie of someone who's just hood and finally gets a certain amount of money. And now they have they're still kind of ratchet, but they don't realize they're ratchet. but they get their high-end designer stuff. They get a job that that is not like most people in their family circle.
Yeah, I think they get
and
the
so
picture,
yeah. So I think Mirla is not the actual true blue bougie that her whole life is bougie, but she's like the hood girl that got on a certain level, and so and now it's like bougie like that.
Yeah, and remember at first, she like Bao, she had certain things she wanted to see in a guy, and I said to myself, I was like, oh man, he's a baldy. And when he came out,
he's a very handsome man.
Yeah, and she actually said that, and I think what surprised her was like he was able to speak Spanish as well.
Yeah, he was Colombian.
Yeah,
but I think the basis of she's like, I feel like that was BS. The judges, last minute a bride backed out, and they were like, listen, she's Latina, and he's he's a Latino, so let's put them together. And it's not as simple as that.
Yeah, but so this, I'm not sure. I'm not really quite sure about her yet, because she's too high class, high maintenance.
I don't think it's high class.
Not high class, but high maintenance.
She's materialistic.
But if you looked at her nails, she didn't have her nails done.
Exactly. She's a hood girl that. But anyway,
wait,
okay.
Just because someone don't have their nails done, does
no,
do that make them hood?
Not necessarily, but she's ready to fight. Okay. Okay, next person.
Okay, next. Yeah. Sorry, we gotta use our iPad.
So the next wedding was So the next person.
Who are we doing next?
So my eyesight is not that great. It was the only white couple that's on the show.
Oh, Brett and Ryan.
Yeah. So this is the first time in Married at First Sight history that they only have one white couple, which I'm actually here for because the world is diverse. People of color are the global majority. So yeah, and I like that there's different cultures. We get to see how different kinds of people will react to stuff. Yes. So with Brett and Ryan. I was thinking
Ryan
of Brett, Michael.
Brett.
Okay, so I was looking at
Super
Brett.
OCD.
Yeah, well, before we even get that, I was looking at Brett and I was like, she looks.
Oh, wrong one.
Familiar. Yeah, wrong one.
Sorry.
I was like, she looks familiar, and I was like, this. And then if you watch 90 Day.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to put Brett looks like this dude from 90 Day Fiance, the one that was on the farm with his parents, and then I was like, she looks just like him. I was like, I was trying to put my, and I was like, I knew she looked familiar. Yeah. They were boring. I think the last two couples honestly boring. But I do. Okay, so here's the thing. Brett is also one that will be annoying. Mm-hmm. Her husband, he seems a little standoffish, but I think he's very just shy, and I think he actually I
think he goes with the flow of things.
Yeah.
But he's willing
and he's
to
not
go with
extra,
the flow.
and he's not.
For Brett, she wants everything to be, to me, a certain way, and she was already picking a fight.
Yeah, remember? Well, with Brett, this is how I pegged her. I was like, okay, so she's one of those like white liberal women that just like has like a thing like, oh, he goes hunting, and automatically judged him. And she, like, I don't know, the verdict is still out.
Yeah.
I would say, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I have my phases with her. Sometimes, at times I thought she was pretty, but then at times I just thought like, oh. But I was shocked, like, when she took off the makeup, I didn't feel that way. So I'm kind of like, we'll see how this couple goes.
We'll see how it is.
Right now I'm just not feeling her spirit. There's something off
about
her. I feel like she's gonna like start trouble.
I think it's 50% that with those two being together. And we didn't give our predictions for the others. For Zach and Michaela, for Gil and Marla, I give that like, well, no. For Brett and Ryan, I give it 60%. For what's his
Michaela?
Name? No, Gil and Marla, I give them 46% of staying together. For Michaela and Zach, I would have gave them a 98%.
But after we saw...
So I'm going to give them like a 75% they'll be together. And then for Bao and Johnny, I think like a good 80%. I think their traditions and the cultural background will like really keep them together. Mm-hmm. Okay, so moving on to our last couple. Did we go through all the couples?
Rachel and Jose.
Yeah.
I think that would be it because we already did one before, like in our previous recording.
Yeah. So with Rachel and Jose, another snooze fest.
This is the OCD guy.
I also what I like about
OCD.
This season is the diversity. So you have with Mirla and Gil, you have a black Afro Latino that is not Caribbean, that is not from Puerto Rico, Cuba, or Dominican Republic, but that's from South America. All right. So you see that there's black Latinos because as black Latinos, nobody ever wants to put that out in the media or. And then you have like Mirla, who most of her friends are black, and so you have the urban Latinos, right? And then you have Jose and Rachel, which are like the white identifying Latinos, right? So I like that diversity because within sometimes they'll just put rainbow coalition, but there's diversity within cultures.
Yeah.
So, and I like that. And they're both Mexican, so people will see that. And I think Married at First Sight has always done that. Like they've had Haitians and Dominicans on the show before, but it was just like, okay, that's the black couple. But to see that, I like that. I with this couple,
I think so Rachel, right? So those two, remember, they were excited that everything about them was like alike.
Yeah, I think they both can be a little narcissistic. They wanted to basically marry themselves.
Yeah, and I'm just like, wait, what? They were like super excited about that.
But that could be really good or really bad.
And he's like, I'm short, but Jose is really short. You know, like they both short.
He's probably like a good 5'4", 5'3".
And I think she's like, isn't she like a? I can't remember from last week when we did the previous recording that was interrupted. But I do want to. Are we done with this couple? Because I know we have more to say, but
honestly, I forgot about them. So
so I did want to mention with Gil. We didn't mention he's a firefighter. And I thought that was good, but I don't think like he said, he don't make that much money.
Oh, that's the thing. Yeah. The show should know by now to this comes up every season. They need to start, and they've done a better job as the years progress. But like I said, I really believe Mirla was last minute, because usually they match people up by how much they make.
Yep.
Like, for example, they're not going to put somebody who's making 6 figures with somebody who has an entry-level position on this show. And the judges have said that seasons past. So, like, for example, Jeff D and Shawnice. Shawnice is a hairdresser from the Boston season, and Jeff D is a teacher. You have Woody and Amani. Amani works in a nonprofit. Woody is a teacher. And one of the reasons why, like, Karen wanted a guy with a certain amount of money, but which was his face? That was also from New Orleans. Karen's husband, I can't remember. Miles is a dean out of school, but Karen wanted a guy in another position. So they usually, even when a girl will be like, no, I want a man who makes more money or than me, they're like, nah, we're gonna put somebody on your level. But I feel like because Mirla was last minute, that they just was like, okay, who can we put together together.
So like this season, I'm really excited about Michaela and Zach. I'm also afraid of the clips we saw.
Yeah, but they could be like a Jeff D and Shawnice, where there's so much passion between them.
Yeah.
That or like we have
like they'll fight the good fight.
Exactly, like Jeff D and Shawnice, Elizabeth and Jamie, where those are couples in Married at First Sight history that have the chemistry.
But Brett and Ryan kind of right now reminds me of a
Jamie and Elizabeth too, like the crazy one and like a real chill guy. You're right.
Yep,
so I think Zach and Michaela do have a good future ahead of them. If you look at couples who had crazy dynamics in the past.
And the last thing I'll say is just one last note on Rachel and Jose. I feel like his OCD is gonna like make her not wanna. It's gonna be overwhelming.
Seems sweet, and
no, you didn't really like her at first though.
Yeah, but then there was parts, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. So what? That's pretty much it.
That's it. And I'm so sorry we have not put up our videos like we used to, like right away. I'm gonna try to, I've been working 10 hours a day, y'all. So after next week, it should get better, like right after the episodes play. So until next time.
Yeah, thanks guys, and please remember to like, share, subscribe, and comment.
Yes, and comment.
And thanks.
Thank you so much.